Ask him. Now, let's eat.
Hey, Albert.
Hi, Pa. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure.
Well, Mr. Singerman asked me to be his apprentice, and I'd like your permission to work with him after school instead of doing chores.
Hey, you sure you know what you're getting into? You know, being an apprentice to a craftsman, that's pretty serious business.
Yeah, I know, but I still want to do it.
How come this sudden interest in woodworking? I thought you were pretty set on being a farmer.
Well, I am. I just thought it wouldn't be bad to learn another trade.
Yeah, that's good thinking. You couldn't learn from a better man.
Yeah, I know. And, well, with the sun going back east and all, I kind of thought that...
You kind of thought you might be yearning for some company for a while, huh?
Yeah. There's just something about him, Pa.
All right, you can do it. But I don't want your homework separate.
Oh, it won't. Thanks, Pa.
Okay.
Morning, Mr. Brower.
Good morning.
How's everything by you, Mr. Brower?
Fine, still breathing. You?
Just fine.
Heard that kid of yourn ran off to New York City.
Ah, he didn't exactly run off. He went to get married.
I know that story. Raised 5 young uns myself, and not one of them ever comes to see me.
In our village, there is a saying, one father can support 10 children. 10 children can support one father.
Amen to that, brother.
Mr. Brower, I notice you have an extra bucket. And I need one very badly.
Hmm?
Would you be willing to trade for this cane?
Workmanship ain't bad. You say you want to make an even swap?
That's right.
Well, guess it'll be all right. Okay, it's a deal.
Thank you, Mr. Brower, and be well.
Same to you.
I don't get it. How come you traded in that great walking stick for this piece of junk?
Albert, there's a Jewish word, Rahmanas. It means in English, compassion. Life without Rahmanas is not worth living. He's a poor man. He needs a new walking stick.
Then why didn't you just give it to him? Why trade him for a rusty old bucket?
Because our faith says when you give charity, you must give so the person receiving the charity feels no shame.
I want to work with you, Ingalls.
What can I do for you, Larrabee?
Nothing. I thought you might like to know your boy's hanging around with that old Jew.
He has my permission. If you excuse me, I'd like to do.
I don't know what you're trying to prove, Ingalls. Ain't no decent family wants their kids mixing with Hebes. Whole Ingalls family's gone Jew crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with being prejudiced against Jews. It's self-defense.
I kind of agree with you, Larrabee. I'm prejudiced myself.
You are? Against who?
Against short, rednecked farmers.
How's little Jew lover doing today?
Gonna see a cheap old Jew friend this afternoon?
Why didn't you two just shut up?
Why don't you try making us, Jew boy?
Yeah, well, maybe I will.
Why do you keep calling Albert a Jew boy? We're not Jewish.
You're not, but Albert could be. His parents could have been Jews. Maybe that's why he's so attracted to them.
Albert's not Jewish.
How do you know? Maybe I am. I sure don't seem a whole lot worse than anybody else here.
Albert ain't no Jew. Everyone knows the Jews have horns on their head, like the devil.
Albert, does Mr. Singerman have horns on his head?
I don't know. He never takes off his hat. Sure is hot today, isn't it, Mr. Singerman?
Yeah?
Why don't you make yourself comfortable and take that hat off?
No, I'm all right. I'm fine.
Boy, that sure is a nice hat you got there, Mr. Singerman. What you call it, a derby?
I don't know.
Well, why don't you take it off and look at the label?
There is no label.
Mr. Singerman,
Yes?
have you got horns under that hat?
What?
Horns. Some people told me Jewish people have horns on their head. Well, do you?
We have no horns. We cover our heads to remind us that man is no big shot. There is something above him. Horns. A Michigas.
And I was scared at first when he wouldn't take off his hat. I was just sure he had horns.
Just like the devil, huh?
Mr. Singerman laughed too when I told him.
I don't see why you have to spend so much time with that old man.
Well, I like him, that's why.
Well, you seem to be the only one that does. Nobody likes Jews.
Yeah, fine. What kind of talk is that?
Well, it's true. And I get made fun of, too, just because I'm his sister.
So then rather than being made fun of, you go along with the rest of them and dislike someone just because they're a Jew.
I don't dislike him.
Yeah, fine. If you don't speak up to people, bigots, then you know better than they are. Worse, in fact, because you know that it's wrong and you allow them to think that you feel the same way they do. Finish your supper.
I'm sorry about what I said last night.
Yeah, I know.
It's just that you hear what other kids say, and...
You don't have to explain.
Thanks
For what?
for not hating me.
Oh, hate is for people like the Larrabees. I got better things to do.
Me too.
Hey, there's Nellie. Come on, I want to tell her something.
Nellie! Nellie, Willie!
I want to tell you something.
What do you want?
Well, I just wanted to tell you. Willie was right.
I was? About what?
Mr. Singerman, he does have horns.
He does?
Yep. Only they're not little ones. They're great big ones.
How does he get his hat over him?
Oh, well, that's the scary part. He didn't hear me come into the workshop the other day, and he had his hat off. And I couldn't believe it. He was polishing his horns. They must have been that big. You're fooling. No. And when he went to put his hat back on, they shrank down to little points.
I wish I could have seen.
Well, you can. Come out to Mr. Seaman's place after school.
I'm too scared.
Me too.
Well, I'll be with you.
Laura, are you going?
No, she's not going. She's too much a fraidy cat. But I know you're not, Nellie.
All right. I'll go. Come along, Willie.